Welcome to FE Fitness and to our third installment of the legs hypertrophy segment. This workout is entitled Platinum Pelvis and is for those who suffer from back pain, possibly through a prolapsed disc or any other ailment. So in the workout selection that we're going to host today, there's very little compression patterns occurring on the spine, and the spine is very much held in a neutral isometric brace throughout the entire range within the hip. So we're going to start off that workout getting once again our model Josh Bryant on board to demonstrate exactly how to go about performing this routine. We start off Platinum Pelvis with our first exercise, which is a front foot elevated split squat. This movement is very beneficial for the opening up the front capsule of the hip, enabling better contraction through the glutes as well as the posterior fibers of our adductors, which is the musculature in the inside of our thigh. Josh is going to start this movement by first pulling his chest collarbone up to his chin down to the collarbone, narrowing that angle between those 2 points. This way we increase thoracic extension, maintaining a brace prior to him taking a nice deep stride back into a drop back lunge. In this position, we first are going to concern ourselves with the position of the back ankle. We want to press that ankle as high away from the floor as possible, creating better tension on the glute of his left leg. Once that position has been achieved, we are now going to press the knee forward of the right leg over the toe to a centered, neutral, stable position. In this position, Josh is going to slowly dip the hip down to flexion, bringing the front glute to the back of the front ankle whilst extending his chest in the opposite direction up to the ceiling and back on up to a neutral position. So once again, we drive our knee into flexion, hip into flexion, thoracic column into extension, creating a brace or a tug of war, as we call it in the body, to enable a stride back up to a neutral, explosive position. Thank you very much, Josh. The second exercise of the workout, entitled Platinum Pelvis, is our Russian step-up. This exercise is beneficial for increasing recruitment of the glute medius, which is a very important musculature on the outside of the hip, providing stability to the knee during hip flexion. We start this movement off by rotating the pelvis into a neutral position, so both forward points of the pelvis are facing in the same alignment. Once we've done that, we increase thoracic extension by once again opening up the collarbone to the chin, but the chin and collarbone angle are actually extended away from one another in the starting position. We initiate the drive of this movement by pulling up through the collarbone to the point where the weight goes from the front of the foot to the heel of the foot, thereby enabling a better thoracic extension, hip flexion, and hip extension of the leading leg. Once again, we will pull through the collarbone, extend through the right hip, flex through the left hip, dragging our leading leg into extension, thereby recruiting those glute medial fibers. Thank you very much, Josh. The third exercise of this installment of Platinum Pelvis is a Bulgarian lunge. This exercise is extremely beneficial to providing extension of the front of the hip. It is extremely advanced exercise and needs to be done with severe caution. If someone were to do this exercise and had problems with their knees as well as their back, we would avoid to do this exercise and rather opt for an isometric position in its place. But given that Josh has healthy knees, we will demonstrate how we do a Bulgarian lunge in the 3 points of the Platinum Pelvis workout. Firstly, we position ourselves once again in a high chest, low collarbone angle, creating thoracic extension and a brace through the core. Once that position has been enabled, we take a deep stride forward in a comfortable forward lunge position. Now, prior to any other movement occurring, most of the weight will be on Josh's front leg, which we need to change our dynamic by making ourselves aware of leaning our body weight as well as the weight in our kettlebells into the back leg to start with. So we straighten out our front knee and we simply lean onto the back ankle as much as we can, really accentuating the lean of the upper body. The back knee will slightly dip and bend when we do that, which is fine. And this will enable us to have better glute recruitment of the back leg's posture. Now in this position, we're going to start the movement by pushing our right knee forward into flexion to the point where it gets over the toe. Once we have positioned our right knee over the toe, we rotate the pelvis ever so slightly to the right side, enabling both points of the pelvis to be neutral to one another. Once we've done that, we're going to bend the back knee toward the floor, extending our rib cage up to the ceiling. Pressing back up to a neutral position, which has all the weight on the back leg at the start. So back leg, transfer weight to the front leg through knee flexion, sink down, extend the ribs, back up to the top. Shift forward, get the brace, sink knee flexion, up, and get the brace. Thank you very much, Josh. Thank you for watching FE Fitness. There are many more episodes to come. Forge your status.